Thank you, Dennis. And now we turn to Mattis. Mattis represent Regular and Christian Korman represent SUS, but they work together with the third theme, and also a very important and difficult theme. It's how to connect the area, how to manage to connect in a good way to east, west, and north, south, how to create a strong node and a good accessibility to the Frihamnen area. Please, Mattis.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. The City Council has a very strong vision and mission on how to accommodate traffic in Frihamnen. The chair of the traffic committee, Johan Neo, says the priority for Gothenburg's mobility is public transportation, bikes and walking. It must be an area not for cars. So the question in Frihamnen on how we live should be answered differently than the condition which we see today, the condition of traffic flows which pass through the area. How do you accommodate that in a different way? How do we go from a non-place, a car-based environment, this is taken in Frihamnen today, to an environment where in the most busy corridors, in the links between the south and the north of the city, we have all kinds of traffic accommodated in a public space which is lively and dynamic and inclusive. It still forms the backbone of transportation in terms of its capacity. Next to these spaces, we calm down, reduce speed. It remains lively and dynamic, but other forms of transport take over. It becomes more a walkable city where a cruise terminal is enjoyed next to children playing on the roads and people moving by slow traffic once they have left the major busy backbones. In ways we have learned from other cities that it's possible to combine these different forms of traffic and slow down the speed. This means that the horizon, the important horizon of 2021, when the bridge is built, has to be much more than only a bridge which accommodates traffic flows. It has to be a gesture which is a structural and a systemic gesture for the city, as is a gesture which links north and south. So it has to be about a new avenue, the Avenue 2021, and maybe even more, it has to be about this new avenue which connects not only the central station with Backaplan, but in fact finds its source out of Kungspark and prolongs that across the river all the way up to RiverCity. And in the same way, the Jubilee Park could be the prolongation of the Avenue 1921. So in that sense, the 2021 moment is really a gesture across the river in both directions, but on a structural level, on a level of public space. We believe that this gesture, north-south gesture, has to be complemented in an east-western way by a new river boulevard. In order to create a backbone of the identity of this river city, we believe you need to have a routing which connects most of the water basins and gives a foundation for new key public spaces, the most important of which we find at this location here, where the water basin will meet that river boulevard, and Gothenburg will get its first and only real public space at the river. That means that we have a paradoxical situation with regard to how we deal with the transportation infrastructure. We seem to want to invest less in infrastructure, but probably we have to engage more. We have to not only do a bridge, we have to also prolong the bridge across Frihamnen into Backaplan and Frihamnen to make it an Avenue 2021, a boulevard which accommodates multimodal transportation. We can finance that by regaining the space which is today affected by cars on all these spaghettis of the highway exit. So the refinancing of this new infrastructure can be done by gaining land, which makes it a much more economically sustainable and sound proposal. We not only valorize the waterfront, the main asset of Frihamnen, but we can also densify and valorize the core of the Frihamnen and Ringön area and make it a platform where we really connect the north and the south of RiverCity. That allows us to install something also in terms of an urban topography, which we believe is prototypically Gothenburgian. On the south side, you have like a scenography of a stepwise skyline. We believe you have to prolong this on the north, not build too dense at the waterfront, build denser behind where we regain land and create in a way as if it were sort of a RiverCity theatre, which we believe should be the scenery for Gothenburg. How does that respond to your overall RiverCity strategies? I ask you, Christian, to answer.
First, create a new backbone from Central Station and the Beach Park and all over the river onto this next boulevard, complemented with the stepping stone on the other side. Also addressing not only Frihamnen but also the future for the RiverCity Ringön, Bakkerplan and Frihamnen into the local ring, which will serve the exchange between those areas. And furthermore, the Riverside Boulevard, which is addressing the river with public transport and especially those water basins which are connected to it. We designed a few profiles which I'm not going to show in depth to accommodate different types of transport, different types of speed and different types of accommodation of urban programs. Altogether, it will create a network which is accommodating all types of programs from small scale to a metropolitan scale, on which I'd like to mention especially the cruise terminal, which we consider an important program to be combined with the river backing in Hamburg, is proving to be with the same width, accommodating all these programs at the same time. Or in Vancouver, where also a bridgehead is not a negative thing but can be used to slow down the urban network along the quays. Altogether, this whole network of small slow traffic and urban nodes will really embrace the water in all these different levels and ultimately reinforcing the core, which was the general statement of RiverCity. And we believe that with these ingredients we have the first basic strategy for that.
Thank you. What about nodes? What about accessibility? What about paths, corridors, accesses? What about Avenue in 2021? Reflections? Questions?
I have a question.
Please.
My question is regarding how do you deal with the situation that the new structure is interfering with the old structure that you have, for example, tramways. It could be hard to cut that off for a couple of years to build a new structure, or is it possible to have them both, so to say, for a couple of years and then demolish the old structure?
That's right. We have not had time in the 3 months to look very much into detail, but we believe, and we talked through that with your traffic department, that it's possible to already install in the first phase next to the existing structure a new future backbone, future axis, which then, when the bridge is put in place, can be reconnected to the existing structure. It's a matter of flipping over. We believe it should be technically feasible. But what we are strongly convinced of is you should not, by these sort of technical concerns, block the future potential of your RiverCity, as you don't dare to tackle the pre-existing conditions which we feel are going to be hazardous for all the qualities you want to be able to achieve.
So, anything more? No? Okay. Thank you, Mattis. Thank you, Christian.